Okay, so let's start with the amendment. CA final indirect taxes amendments for the upcoming November 24 examinations. So our ICAI has released the statutory update, okay, as they release it before every attempt. In the statutory update that is released by the ICAI, they have covered amendments which were applicable for the May 24 examinations also, plus the amendments which are applicable to the November 24 exams. Okay, दोनों amendment May 24 को जो amendments थे वो भी उन्होंने include किया हुआ है, November 24 के लिए जो amendments है वो भी include किया हुआ है. Okay, but till May 24 we have already seen the amendments. Okay, if you have taken the fast track lectures, if you have taken the full regular lectures, if you have watched the revision lectures, etc., all the amendments till May 24 were already included in the same. Now we are just supposed to do some differential amendments, okay, some extra amendments, some notifications mainly, which have been notified by the ICAI for the purpose of our GST, customs and FTP. ठीक है. Now as you already know, for November 24 examinations, ठीक है, November 24 examinations, what is the cut-off date for amendments? The cut-off date for amendment is 30 April 24. Okay, means all the amendments till 30 April 24 will be forming part of your examinations. So and before that, for the May 24 examination, the cutoff date was, for May 24, it was 31st October, right? So all the amendments till 31st October 2023 we had already covered, right? So now we are just required to cover the differential amendments. Okay, we are just required to cover the differential amendments from 1st November 2023 to 30th April 2024. मतलब there are hardly amendments. Okay, एकदम negligible amendments are there. So let's cover. Okay, maximum of it we have already included in our second edition book also. Okay, it was already included in your second edition book. Still, okay, if you have my book or if you don't have my book, anyway you can refer this particular lecture. Okay, I will tell you from which chapter what is the amendment and we'll discuss that immediately, right? Okay, so now as it is written here, amendments from 1st November 2023 to 30th April 2024. So this is applicable for your November 24 examinations and onwards, right? From all the three parts we are going to cover the amendments, GST also, customs also, as well as the FTP. These are the amendment notes. These are the PDF notes which I have already prepared. Yes, so I will be putting this notes on the website. Okay, on arpitatulsyan.com in the free resources section, free notes. You can just go there and you will find these notes. It is hardly a 6-7 page notes. Okay, hardly that much. So I think we are good to go. We can start, everyone. Yes, okay. Now the first amendment. First we are starting with GST, then we'll go to customs, and then we'll go to FTP part. Right. The first thing that is coming is from the GST. Just have got. Okay, in GST, you just have got two amendments, and also not really amendment, but amendment in the form of notification. There is no major change, but it is two notifications were inserted. As you can see, first one is coming from the registration chapter. Okay, so in your books, you can just come to the registration chapter, everyone. And those who already have my book, this amendment, whatever we are doing from the registration chapter, this amendment was already included in my second edition book. Okay, so you need, if you have the second edition book, you need not do any corrections also there. Okay, if you are referring any other book, if you are referring ICS study material, etc., yes, do come to the book and let's do the changes there. Yes, if you want to do it later, anyway the PDF will be available with you. You can do it later also. Yes, okay. Let's do one thing. Let's start with this, everyone. Registration chapter. I think you all must be able to recollect. There was a concept called as Aadhaar based authentication. Remember? Yes, we had to select. Now Aadhaar based authentication was there. We had to select for, if we select for Aadhaar based authentication, then within XYZ number of days the registration will be approved, so on and so forth. If Aadhaar authentication is not selected, then they will come for physical verification and all those things we had studied. Okay, towards the end, towards the end of Aadhaar authentication, we had studied a new concept called as risk-based biometric Aadhaar authentication of registration applicants. Okay, now we had discussed that the government had started. Now, when we go and submit any application, okay, when we go to the GST portal and we submit any registration application on the GST portal, if the GST portal is able to identify, okay, if the GST portal identifies some risk, okay, then in that case, remember, they were not giving us the registration at that place, and then they will call us to their facilitation center. They will check our identity by way of biometric verification. They will ask for all the physical documents from us and all those things, and only after that they are going to grant us the registration. Are you able to recollect that much? Yes. Okay, so now that pilot project, was there till Gujarat. We had studied it was there till Gujarat, and now it has been extended to Puducherry and Andhra Pradesh also. Okay, so actually, you know what? This entire thing is not the amendment. The amendment is only this much. Okay, the amendment is only this much, that this biometric Aadhaar authentication, risk-based biometric Aadhaar authentication. The trial project was initially running in Gujarat. Now it is also going to be extended to Puducherry and Andhra Pradesh, and we all know slowly and steadily it will be extended to whole of India, right? Because whenever the system identifies that there is a big risk involved here, maybe the person is a bogus person, or maybe the person is, he's trying to take fake GST registration or something like that, then in such cases, means obviously the GST department will have the parameters ready, right? Then in that case, they are going to do this biometric Aadhaar based authentication. Earlier it was there only for Gujarat, now it is there to Gujarat, Puducherry, as well as for Andhra Pradesh. I hope I am very, very clear till here. Yes, so this thing was already written in your ICI material, etc., in your old textbooks also. And what you have to write there is in the I hope I am very, very clear. Notification number so and so, dated 17th November 2020. Yes. Okay, anyway, no need to remember the notification, just remember the states to which it has been made applicable. Can we go ahead, everyone? Yes, done. So, then going on to the amendment in GST. Okay, only two amendments. One is done, registration, and the second one is your miscellaneous provisions. Okay, now again, this amendment also I had already included when I was making the second edition book. I had already included this as a provisional amendment. Yes, this was already included. Chapter miscellaneous provisions. Last time this rule was inserted. Okay, rule number 163 to section number 158A, consent based sharing of information, that was already introduced last time. Okay, and in that they have made an addition, the thing that you can see in green here. Okay, the thing that you can see in green here, that has been newly added. Okay, so just let me help you in recollecting the provisions. Okay, in this, basically, we were discussing about consent sharing information. Okay, consent based sharing of information means what? Let's say now when I am a GST registered person, okay, can I say all of my information is available on the GST portal? Okay, whatever is my turnover, whatever is my purchases, from whom I am purchasing, mainly B2B, from whom I am purchasing, to whom am I selling, etc. All of my sensitive information, right? All of my sensitive information is available with the GST portal. Okay, now can GST portal suo moto? Can GST portal suo moto share this information with any XYZ person? Answer is no. Okay, obviously, because GST portal cannot share. Okay, GST portal cannot share my information just like that. Every थोड़ी ना वो किसी के साथ में share कर सकता है. Okay, it cannot share. But if I give my consent, okay, if I give my consent to the GST portal that, okay, please share so and so information with XYZ person, then the GST department can definitely share. Yes. Now, ma'am, what is the need? What is the need to give this consent of allowing GST portal to share my information? Now, let's say if there is any third party. Okay, let's say if there is any third party. Let's say a bank. Okay, let's say a bank is there, a NBFC is there, who is going to give me a big amount of loan. Okay, so can we say the bank is going to ask for proof from me, Arpita, what is your turnover, Arpita, what is your profit, etc. I gave a document to the bank. Now, can we say that document is not very authentic? Right? That document is not very authentic. The bank may not rely on those documents. Okay, it is a normal document. It can be altered, it can be edited and all those things. Yes. So what does bank do? Bank is still insecure about it. So what will the bank do? Bank will tell me, can we get your information? Can we cross check your information from the GST portal? I said, okay. Cross check the information from the GST portal. Now, the bank will go to the GST portal and ask for my information. Bank goes to the GST portal and asks for my information. Okay, now GST portal will ask me, Arpita, can we share your information with that bank? If I give my consent, okay, if I give my consent to the GST portal, then yes, GST portal can share that information with the bank. Okay, so in this case, what was happening was, till now, central government has notified following as the system with which information may be shared by the common portal, that is the GST portal, based on the consent under section 158A. The only system which the central government had notified till now was the account aggregator. Okay, account aggregator was nothing but NBFC. Okay, who was working as per the directions of the RBI and all those things. Means Arpita's information, okay, let's say Arpita is a registered person, Arpita's information was available with the GST portal, okay, and GST portal was sharing this information with whom? GST portal was sharing this information with the account aggregator. Okay, with the account aggregator, with a particular NBFC, who will either utilize the information for itself or it will give the information to someone else. Okay, now GST portal can also share this information with whom? Now the GST portal can also share this information with this public tech platform. Okay, public tech platform for frictionless credit. Public tech platform means it is also a platform, it is also an IT platform for frictionless credit, for easy giving of loans. Okay, it can be a bank also, or it can be any other entity. Okay, it can be any other entity which is fetching. Okay, this particular entity is fetching my information from the GST portal if I have given my consent. So can we say the main benefit of this is for operations of a large ecosystem of credit. Can we say now this public tech platform has all my information, right? It has all my financial information which we had taken from the GST portal, and on that basis, can we say it becomes easy for the other people to provide me credit? Right, it becomes easy. Let's say there is a particular bank, okay, who wanted information about it. The bank fetched my information through this public tech platform. So because of this, can we say, first of all, my data, yes, it is given to this particular bank through public tech platform, and which is also an authorized information, right? Which is also an authorized information. Are you understanding this? Okay, now they have given us the meaning of public tech platform for frictionless credit. Please do not by heart it. Okay, please do not by heart it. This is basically, it is an enterprise grade open architecture IT platform. Conceptualized, the concept was created by RBI as a part of its policies, dated so and so, and developed. Okay, this was developed by Reserve Bank Innovation Hub. Reserve Bank Innovation Hub is the wholly owned subsidiary of this. It is a wholly owned subsidiary of this particular platform. For what purpose? The purpose is very important. For the operations of large ecosystem. They are trying to create a large ecosystem where actual information, where the proper information of that particular person is available, and we are getting it from the GST portal. So we can say that the information that we have got is authentic. On the basis of that information, credit can be given. Okay, credit can be given to that person. Are you clear with this? Yes. So the only amendment in this miscellaneous provision is whenever we were giving consent to the GST portal to share my information, GST portal can share this information with systems. Earlier it was only the account aggregator. Now it is also public tech platform for frictionless credit. Okay, account aggregator was also newly inserted. It was inserted from 1st October 23. This is inserted from 22nd Feb 24. I hope this much is manageable, everyone. Yes. Okay. So these were your two amendments. Okay, these were your two amendments in GST. Okay, one is based out of registration chapter and another one is based out of the miscellaneous provisions. Very, very simple, very, very small. I hope this much is manageable, everyone. Yes. Chalo, then let's go to the next amendment. Let's go to the amendment which is there in customs. There's only one amendment which belongs to this chapter called as importation and exportation of goods. One of a little big chapter in your customs, importation and exportation of goods. In this particular chapter, there was a section, that is section number 51A. Okay, in this last time also we had a very small amendment. Now also we have got a very small amendment coming up here. So what is the amendment? Let's try to understand. Not really very important. Just listen to it once. Okay. Now we had studied in customs. Okay. I don't know if you will be able to recollect or not, but we had studied it in customs that for some type of transactions for authorized economic operators, and when the value exceeds 10,000 per bill of interest, something like that. In that case, electronic payment of customs duty was mandatory. Do you recollect something like that? Yes. And for other type of payments, in that case, they had told that they want to introduce electronic payment. They want to introduce, ठीक है, उनको करना है, but they want to introduce in a phased manner. धीरे, slowly, steadily, they want to introduce this electronic payments. Okay. So we had studied there that the customs department, okay, or the CBIC, the board, okay, CBIC had exempted few deposits, few payments from the provisions of section 51A. Means customs department had told that on these payments, as of now, electronic payment is not mandatory. Means manual payment is also allowed. Okay, like with respect to accompanied baggage, the baggage which we take when we travel from one country to another, international courier goods imported or exported at international courier terminals, where the places where automated systems are not yet in place. If automated systems are not in place, then how will we do electronic payments and all those things? So at that time they had exempted electronic payments till 30 November 23. Okay, this was already written in our book. It was exempted till which date? It was exempted till 30 November 23. Now they have extended this benefit till 29th Feb 2024. Okay, till 29th Feb 2024, you are not required to do electronic payment for these things. Okay, so basically there is a deferment. Okay, basically there is a deferment of your benefit, that was the exemption that was given earlier. Okay, so just in the books, in the notes, you just have to change the date. Earlier the date was 30 November 2023. Now you have to cut it and you have to extend it till 29th Feb 2024. I hope I am very, very clear till here, everyone. Yes. Okay, so section 51A is also done. With this, customs amendment is also done. Only this much was there. Yes. Okay, so then let's start with the amendments in FTP. Yes, in this FTP, we have got some 4 amendments. Okay, so in addition to your FTP 2023 that we have studied, in addition to that, we have to see a few amendments, simple amendments, but let's try to cover them. Yes, now the first one is, do you recollect such a table that we had done in our main notes? Yes, this was about the second-hand goods, capital goods, other than capital goods, which are freely importable, some are restricted, etc. In that, one of the point, okay, this point, okay, which I am highlighting here in yellow circle, in this point was newly added point. Now, this is nothing but your second hand capital goods whose import was restricted. Okay, this was not there earlier, but earlier we had seen about this air conditioner, DG set, desktop computers refurbished, and all those things. In that, one thing has been newly added. What is that thing which is newly added? Used IT assets. Okay, used IT assets like your laptops, desktops, monitors, printers, etc., which are imported, okay, which are imported from SEZ to DTA. Okay, SEZ to DTA. Can we say SEZ is also considered as outside it? Like, even if it is there in India, then too it is considered as if it is there outside India. Yes. So if we are importing these things, okay, second hand used IT asset, laptop, desktops, etc., if we are importing this from SEZ to a normal area, to a domestic tariff area, then in that case that import is not freely allowed, that import is going to be restricted, and if we want to import, then we will require the authorization for the same, and we will have to fulfill certain conditions if we want to import it. Okay, now let's say if I talk about Mumbai. Okay, in Mumbai we have got a SEZ area. Let's say if there is a particular AC remote manufacturer which is situated in SEZ. From SEZ, if I am importing from that Mumbai SEZ, if I am importing to Mumbai domestic tariff area, then in that case, second hand used asset, okay, any used IT asset, then in that case, that is restricted and it will require an authorization. Yes, see, it is written here, import policy of used IT assets imported from SEZ to DTA has been notified, and the policy as amended is given below. Import policy of used IT assets imported from SEZ to DTA subject to fulfillment of specified conditions have been notified, and the conclusion is the said import is restricted. Okay, please add this thing in your book. The said import is restricted and it requires authorization. Okay, this table is already there in your notes. Okay, it is there in your notes. In that restricted thing, just add these used IT assets. Okay, the last thing that was already written in your notes was this: all notified electronic and IT goods. Below that, just add one more block, that is this used IT assets. If you want to import this from SEZ to DTA only, from SEZ to DTA, then in that case it is totally restricted. Yes, so this was one amendment, this was one addition that we have to do. Second amendment, okay, second amendment under FTP. Okay, second amendment under FTP, let's try that. Now, we had one more pointer in miscellaneous provisions in FTP. Okay, FTP के miscellaneous provisions में we had a point about merchant trading. Okay, merchant trading, if you recollect, let me help you in recollecting. Merchant trading is such a transaction where goods are sent from one country to another. Okay, we purchase the goods from one country, we sell the goods to another country, and those goods never touch the Indian ports. Okay, from we are India, let's say we are in India, so from, let's say, from US to UK, you are sending the goods where the goods are not touching Indian ports. So that merchant trading was allowed earlier, except for the goods which were in CITES and SCOMET list. Do you recollect that? Special chemicals, organisms, etc. And for CITES, there was an international convention for wild flora and fauna, etc. Subject to those goods, of any other goods, we were allowed to do merchant trading without the goods being touching the Indian ports. Okay, that was allowed. This was the existing provision already. Now one more provision, okay, one more provision that is added in this with effect from 20th February 2024, that is now merchant trade, the thing which is given in green. Okay, only that is the new addition part. Okay, now merchant trade carried out, okay, now merchanting trade carried out within one specific foreign country, only one specific foreign country is also permitted subject to RBI guidelines, sites and the SCOMET list. Means earlier what was allowed, if I'm purchasing some goods from US and if I'm sitting here in India, okay, for example, and if I'm purchasing some goods from US and I'm exporting it to UK, okay, the goods are not touching the Indian ports, so this transaction was allowed. Okay, this was called as merchant trading. Now extra what are they permitting us is, let's say I am sitting here in India, I am purchasing goods from US, okay, from one person, from one party I am purchasing goods in US and I am selling the goods to another party in US itself. Means can we say that trading is carried out within one foreign country only and without even touching the Indian ports? So even this is called as merchanting trade, and now even this is permitted. Earlier between two countries it was permitted, now they are telling even within the same country also it is permitted. Okay, so this was the second edition. Okay, this was the second edition that they have done in the FTP provisions, right? Now going on to the third one. Okay, now going on to the third one, everyone, let's go to the third one. Third one is a little bigger one, and this is altogether a new thing which has been added. So basically this is not an amendment, but this is an addition. Okay, let's try. Very simple. Okay, very simple, but let's read this once. Okay, second last amendment in your FTP, everyone here. Now see what are they telling us here. Import of items. Okay, import of items under advance authorization or by EOU or SEZ. Means either if you have taken advanced authorization or if you are located in EOU or SEZ, enabled without compliance. Means import of items by these people is allowed without compliance to mandatory quality control orders. Means when we are importing the goods, okay, now in India, okay, now in India, within Indian government, there are many ministries. Okay, within Indian government, there are many Indian ministries. There are many ministries who tell us that whenever you are importing something, make sure you import of good quality. ठीक है, जब भी हम import कर रहे हैं, they are telling us to make sure that you import good quality products. Okay, ma'am, what do you mean by good quality products? Good quality products are as defined by the Bureau of Indian Standards under the BIS Act 2006. Means it should meet some standards. Okay, this is told by whom? This is told by some Indian ministries. Okay, but now what exemption are they given to us? They are telling that these people, either who are there in EOU or SEZ or who have taken advanced authorization, they can import without compliance to mandatory quality control orders. Means even if they don't check the quality, or even if they don't get that good quality products, even if they don't import the good quality products, it is okay. Okay, so normally what they say that whenever other people are importing any item, they have to fulfill the qualities. Okay, they have to meet the quality standards at the time of importing. Okay, but if you have taken advanced authorization, or if you are situated in EOU, or if you are situated in SEZ, then in such a case, even if you don't comply with the quality standards, it is absolutely okay, but subject to some conditions. Okay, so now see what are they telling us here. This quality standards thing we have already done. Now, domestic manufacturers as well as importers need to ensure, normally people like you and me, domestic manufacturers as well as importers need to ensure that products covered by quality control orders must not be manufactured or imported without compliance with specific standard. Means they are telling, if a normal person who is sitting here in India and importing some goods from outside India, you have to make sure that you meet the specific standards. If you do not meet the specific standards, please do not import such products. Yes, now see what are they telling. Now they have given some exemption. Exemption is given to whom? Exemption is given to advanced authorization holders, exemption is given to EOUs, and exemption has been given to SEZ from the mandatory quality control orders. However, it is subjected to some condition. Means the persons who have taken advanced authorization, or the persons who are there in EOU, or the persons who are there in SEZ, these people, okay, these people need not follow the quality control orders mandatorily, but if they fulfill these 3 conditions which is given here. Are you understanding this? Let's see what conditions are there. Means to other people, apart from these 3, to what are they telling? That whenever you want to import any particular products, make sure that you follow the quality control orders. Otherwise, don't import. Okay, and if you have imported, then please don't use those inputs here in India, because we want to make sure that whatever you are using, whatever imported goods you are using here in India should meet the quality standard. Right now, for the 3 people, see, the people who have got advanced authorization, what all conditions they should fulfill. Now, inputs, whatever you are importing, must be pre-imported. Means first you have to import, and used in manufacturing the export product and exported under the same authorization. Means whatever you are importing, okay, let's say I'm importing this. If I am importing this inputs, or if I am importing, let's say, this plastic for the import, okay, then this should be used for manufacturing the exported product only. Means whatever I am importing should not be used here in India. Import the goods, manufacture something out of it, and immediately export it. Okay, please do not use here in India. Why? Why? Quality control orders met or not met? Quality control orders were not met by these 3 people. Na? So they are telling, please do not use in India. Whatever you are importing, manufacture something out of it and export it immediately. Okay, that is the first condition. Second condition is, suppose if you have something extra left with you, okay, unutilized plastic, if you have got left with you, please do not transfer it to DTA. Okay, even if now it is meeting standards, doesn't matter, please do not transfer it to DTA. We do not want here. So either you destroy it, whatever raw material you had imported, you either destroy it or you re-export it to the same country. But what is the restriction? This is not to be used in DTA. First thing was, it should be exported compulsorily. Second thing, please do not clear it in DTA. Are you clear with this? Okay, and suppose if you have anything left with you and if you are planning to destroy it here in India, then you have to pay customs duty on it, plus interest, plus some composition fee on it. Okay, so it is kind of a punishment if you are not fully exporting it outside the country. Okay, next one, this advanced authorization person will get this exemption. Okay, he will get this exemption of not fulfilling the quality control order if he gives a request, if he submits a request to the customs officer that, sir, I have taken this advanced authorization. Under advanced authorization, I am importing and I am going to use these goods for exporting it. So first you have to take the, you will have to request to the customs department, and then they will give you this exemption. Right, and this exemption from quality control orders will be available only for physical exports and not for deemed exports, because deemed exports happen here in India only. Na? This happens here in domestic market only. So they are telling that whatever you are making out of this input, please make sure that you physically export it outside country. It should not go for domestic export, because if it should not go for deemed export, because if we are doing deemed export, means the goods are coming back in India only. Right, and the last one, import of inputs without compliance to the mandatory QCO under DFIA scheme is not allowed. Means what are they telling? If this person has taken the DFIA scheme, what happens in DFIA scheme? In DFIA scheme, do we first import or do we first export? In DFIA scheme, first we export. And then we import. Right, this is what happens in DFI. But here what was the condition? Here the condition was the inputs must be pre-imported. Means in this, if you want exemption from this, then first you have to import the goods and then you have to export. So DFI scheme is totally irrelevant here, because in DFI scheme first we export and then we import. Are you understanding this? Yes. So if a person has taken advanced authorization, and if I don't want to fulfill the quality control orders, means I don't want to meet the quality standards, etc., then they are telling, no problem, you will get this exemption on request, but whatever you are importing, okay, manufacture something out of it and everything should be exported. Okay, if we could not use the imported products, okay, then either you destroy it on payment of customs duty or you re-export it to the same country. Are you understanding this? This is what the advanced authorization person should fulfill. These are the conditions which the advanced authorization person should fulfill so that he can get the exemption from quality control orders. Yes. Acha. This was for the person who had taken advanced authorization. Now, what about the EOUs? Okay, if you are there in EOUs. So again, EOUs are also exempted from this quality control orders, provided they are going to use it again for what purpose? Provided they are going to use it for export purpose, and again it should be for physical export only and not for deemed export. Okay, I don't know if you recollect or not. In case of EOU, okay, maximum of the products they are required to export. Okay, and if they are left with some goods, they can sell it in the domestic market only. Okay, but if EOU has taken this exemption, then he cannot sell those goods in Indian market. Okay, basically, without QCO, the input should not float in the Indian market. Yes. Then same, no DTA clearance is allowed. If you are left with any inputs, okay, if I had imported some inputs, I could not fully export it. If I'm left with something, DTA clearance means in India selling is not allowed. And again, if you want to take this exemption, you will have to submit a request to the Development Commissioner that, sir, I want to take the benefit of this exemption from QCO. Similar points, right? And the last one, exemption for SEZ. Okay, exemption for SEZ. See what are they telling us here. Again, if you are situated in SEZ, then your main work is going to do exports only. For doing that export, if you have imported some raw materials, okay, if you have imported some raw materials, no problem, you can import without quality control, but you have to use it for export production only. You have to fully export it. Fully exported means you cannot clear it into DTA. If you are left with anything, then you cannot clear anything into DTA. SEZ also will get this exemption if they make a request to the Development Commissioner that, sir, we want to import it without quality control. And again, to SEZs also, this benefit is available only for physical exports and not for deemed exports. Means whatever this low quality goods that they are importing should be fully exported. Please do not use it in the Indian markets. Are you clear till here, everyone? Yes. Acha. And then they are giving us a note here. See what is the note that they are giving us. All the above three exemptions that we studied shall be applicable only for the list of notified ministries. Okay, only for the list of notified ministries or departments whose notifications on mandatory QCOs are exempted by DGFT for goods to be utilized or consumed in manufacture of export products. Basically, let's say now in Indian government, like I told you, there are many ministries. Okay, there are many ministries. Let's say there is the particular paper industry. Okay, there is a ministry which regulates the paper industry. Okay, and paper industry, for that DGFT, okay, that is your authority for foreign trade. DGFT says that QCO is not required. Okay, let's say for paper industry, DGFT says that QCO is not required. Okay, if QCO is not required, then in that case, this exemption, okay, these three exemptions are not relevant. Okay, or let's say if we talk about let's say food. Okay, let's say if we talk about the food industry. Okay, in case of food industry, if DGFT says that quality control is mandatory because otherwise it will be hazardous to health, etc. If DGFT gives an exemption, okay, if DGFT gives an exemption, okay, fine, we are exempting the food industry that if you import some goods, if you import some raw materials whose quality, even if it does not meet, then also you can import it, but you have to export it. Okay, only if DGFT is giving an exemption to that particular industry, then only these exemptions will be applicable. So not, you just don't have to see the ministry. Okay, what does the ministry require? You have to see whether DGFT has given them the exemptions or not, whether DGFT has given the QCO exemption or not. If DGFT gives the QCO exemptions, then only these exemptions can be availed by the importers. Yes. Okay, so this was one big addition. Okay, this was one big addition that was done in your FTP with effect from 11th March. Okay, as you can see here, with effect from 11th March 2024, this addition was done by way of a notification. Yes. Okay, and then last, going on to the last one, fourth one, that is amendment. Okay, amendment in ineligible supplies items categories under RoDTEP scheme. Okay, RoDTEP remission of duties we had studied. Yes, this was also one of the scheme. What happened in case of your RoDTEP scheme was, suppose if you are manufacturing some goods here in India, and at the time of manufacturing, if you have paid any local taxes, okay, or at the time of distribution of those goods, if you are paying any taxes whose credit was not available to you, okay, or whose benefit was not available to you, then they told that if you export these goods, then we will give you some remission. Okay, we will give you some remission of duty in the form of duty scripts, duty credits, duty scripts, and those duty scripts can be used for payment of basic custom duty, right? And that was given as a percentage of FOB. Do you recollect? Whatever is your FOB value at the time of export, on that we will give you a specific percentage of duty refund. This is what we had studied in case of RoDTEP, and that was mainly it was applicable to manufacturers. This is what we had studied, right? Now in your book itself, okay, in your book itself, this thing was written. Okay, there was a list, there was an entire list of some categories of exports or exporters who were not eligible for rebate. Means RoDTEP scheme was not applicable to the following people. Okay, this list is already written in your FTP notes. Now in that list we are required to do some correction. Okay, we are required to do some changes. Basically, what is the changes? Just focus on this part, the thing which I have written in green here. Okay, first thing is this. Okay, that is products manufactured in Electronic Hardware Technology Park and BTP, Biotechnology Park. So if some products are manufactured in these areas, earlier they were not eligible for RoDTEP scheme, but now if they are manufacturing anything in these zones, then they will be eligible for the RoDTEP scheme now onwards. Okay, benefit given basically. Okay, and then at the end of the table, there were two more people whose decision was yet to be taken. Okay, can you read this once? What is written on the right hand side? Inclusions of exports made under these categories in RoDTEP scheme will be decided later. Means whether to give them the benefit of RoDTEP scheme or not to give, this was not yet decided. Okay, this was not yet decided, but now they have decided that these people will be given the benefit. Okay, now these two people will be given the benefit of the RoDTEP scheme. Now who are these people? Okay, either the people who have taken advanced authorization, special advanced authorization, DFIA. Okay, so if they are going to do the exports, they are going to get the benefit of RoDTEP. And next one, if any particular person is situated in EOU or any particular person is situated in free trade zone, export processing zone or special economic zone. Okay, if there is any particular person who are situated here, and by situating here they are going to do the export, so let us give them the benefit of RoDTEP. Okay, so three people have been given the benefit under RoDTEP scheme. Can we say this is good for these companies, these type of entity? That's it. Okay, so these three things to be cut, from the textbook, and now these people will be given the benefit of the RoDTEP scheme. I hope I am very, very clear with this, and this was made effective from 8th March 2024. Done. Yes. Okay, so this was all about your amendments, not too much. Okay, I think just once read, and once you do the corrections in your textbook, that much will be sufficient. Yes. Okay. And okay, one more thing which I want to tell you is, for every chapter, okay, for every chapter of your GST, for your customs, and for FTP, I have put the revision videos. Okay, it is there on YouTube, on YouTube, on my channel, see Arpita Tulsyan. You can go to the playlist. In the playlist, you will find all the chapters revision coming. Please do utilize those videos, which can be very, very helpful whenever you want to revise a particular chapter in a quicker manner. You can use those particular videos. Yes, thank you so much. And yes, the notes, okay, these amendment notes have been put on my website, arpitatulsyan.com, in the free resources section. I am putting the link in the description box also, so that it becomes very, very simple for you to correlate. Thank you so much. All the best.